What's up, everybody? OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy here for another edition of The Mikey Show. Today, I want to go over buying used gear and what a treacherous landscape it can be. The reason I am making this video is because I just had a situation with somebody indirect, one of my client's friends, okay? He's got somebody that went out and contacted me up and wanted to buy some NAT audio monoblocks, some tube monoblocks, and he wanted to trade something to me that I really wasn't interested in, but he went out to the open market, to the used market. He found some older versions of what I have, like 2 versions before, and he bought them from a guy, just an end user, and he bought them used, or he traded, and he found somebody that would take his trade for something else. He traded away a Lampezator. He offered me block audio. I didn't want block audio. He ended up trading Lampezator to this guy for some NAT audios. What happened was he got some pieces that were not as represented. And of course, what's going to happen is the customer is always going to tell you, or the person you're trading with is always going to tell you, must have happened in shipping, okay? Now, when you deal with an end user, a person, a hobbyist, there's no warranty, there's no guarantee, there's no service they need to provide, okay? They don't have a reputation in the industry to uphold or anything like that, so they can basically shaft you, and it really doesn't matter to them. They can just totally ghost your ass, and it's not going to matter. What are you going to say bad stuff about somebody that doesn't sell stuff for a living, somebody that maybe sells one thing a year or something like that? So they don't, it's not the same as buying used from somebody like me or another dealer where we guarantee our used stuff. Now, I guarantee my used stuff, okay? Not all dealers do. You must read the fine print. Some dealers will sell you something, all sales final, like no warranty expressed or implied or anything like that. And that means basically you get what we send you, okay? What is a couple things that happen is you do not know what you're getting when you buy used, okay? If you buy used from an end user, they may have had some issues with that piece. Some noise, a hum, something like that, and then they try and fix it themselves many times, and the worst case is when they go in and try and solder things themselves, and they can totally screw up the inside of the unit. Then they get it barely working again, but they didn't fix the hum, but there's all sorts of solder slop inside all over the board, or maybe they tore traces. Things like that can happen, and you have no idea. There's no warranty, there's nothing like that. So you may get somebody else's headache that they just sloughed off on you. And many times, these pieces that are out there are freaking boat anchors. Really, they're pain in the ass, gremlin problem child, okay? And every once in a while, in the car world, you'd call it a lemon. There are lemon pieces of gear out there that somehow get out into the field. The manufacturer, they never get back to the manufacturer, and then they just get hot potatoed off person to person trying to hot potato. This is what you need to watch for when you're trying to save money and save a buck and be smarter than just buying new. So what's going to happen? I think this guy traded for something that was worth like 15 grand. My things brand new were 25. So he traded for something that he could have sold for 15. Now because he needs the repair, he's going to ship them back and forth on a pallet freight to Atlanta, where we'll fix them, and we'll charge whatever my repair guy charges to fix them. I'm guessing he's going to be another, and then also, you miss accessories. These products, these tube monoblocks, did not come with their tube cage. So now he wants to order brand new tube cages. He wants to bring them up to fresh new spec, right? It's going to cost him $5,000. It's going to be about an extra $5 grand. So now he's 15. He adds 5 in, so he's at 20 grand. And there's going to be time that he missed out, time without stuff, pain in the ass that he's got to ship it back and forth. And he's $5,000 difference from a brand new item that is a superior design. They've scrapped that old design and they've redesigned this amplifier to perform better than the old one. Okay? He could have had the new one with a 3-year freaking bona fide warranty. You know what happens if you buy something from me and it gets out to your place and something's wrong with it? I send a tractor trailer to come pick that shit back up on a pallet. I pay the return shipping. I fix it for you at my cost, and then I pay the return shipping back to you, again, freight on a pallet. Or if you decide I don't want it, I take it back. I either give you a full refund on the deal, or I get you something else if you want something else. So it is very treacherous. I'm going to tell you a couple other stories. Back in my early days, I bought some balanced audio technology, BAT, what were they? They were 150 SEs. What are they called? Something 150 SE. They're monoblock amps, okay? And I can't remember the letter that goes before 150 SE, but they were 150 special edition amplifiers, the monoblocks, a bunch of those Russian tubes with the come from out of the fighter jets, MiG fighters, whatever the story is behind those damn tubes. But they're sick monoblocks. They're really killer. The guy told me they had been factory upgraded from 75s to 150s. 75 is a stereo amp. You can bridge them at the factory. There's a factory kit, and they can bridge them and make them into 150s. Well, I get these things, I turn one on, and it's shot. It's like, one is totally higher output than the other. The other one sounds like shit and is way low output. I open the thing up, I look inside, absolutely not a factory upgrade. One of them was maybe done at the factory, but one of them he had done himself actually he told me it was done at the dealer after I contacted him back. And whatever the guy at the dealer, if that was it, or if he did it himself, there was torn traces on the board, and they had flown wires, like soldered wires, scraped off the solder mask, and then soldered a wire and jumped it over the part that they tore. Typically, if you're pulling out parts to replace them, if you don't have a solder sucker, a good one, an electric motor one, and you pull that thing out cold, it's going to pull out and it's going to take the tear. It's going to tear the trace with the arm of the capacitor or the arm of the resistor that's on there. And you can really fuck up an amp if you don't know what you're doing, or a piece of gear really easily if you're just a Joe Schmo or some jackass in the back of a dealer who's slinging solder getting paid $12 an hour, who isn't a professional, okay? And that's what happens. You get these products, and man, this thing was a mess. So I sold it to somebody at like half what I paid for it, and told him and took pictures of the board and said, here's the problem. He said, no worries, I can fix it. And he was a guy that knew his shit. He got the amps, he fixed them, and he was happy with them. But I divulged everything, okay? People in the field, especially homeowners, guys that they will not tell you what's up. They're sneaky little bastards sometimes. Not all of you, but some of you know you're sneaky ass bastards. And you put shit out in the field that is your junk that you're trying to just get rid of and get it off your freaking hands, and you sell it to other people in the community. And that's messed up. And you all ought to be ashamed of yourself for doing that shit. Because my guy now got some Nat Audio amps that have problems. They were misrepresented. And the guy is ghosting the person and ignoring it and saying, oh, it must have happened in shipping. Which is the easiest way to blow off some shit that you're sloughing off on somebody else. Okay, so here are the pitfalls. These are the pitfalls. If you're buying used gear, you should get, at the very least, get a statement. This product has not been worked on. I certify that this product has not been worked on, that there are no hums or no noise. I certify that they arrive with no hums or no noise. You get a bona fide frickin' agreement from somebody if you're gonna buy used from an end user at their house somewhere, okay? Because a lot of times they're throwing their shit out onto the market so that you get stuck with that damn hot potato, and then you have to fix it the proper way. It's a pain in the ass. And the same if you're buying from a dealer, you're buying used stuff. It's a little better you're buying from a dealer because they're an establishment. They should stand behind what they sell you. Like myself, I guarantee everything that I sell used. It has a warranty, just like the new stuff. It's a shorter warranty, but it still has a warranty. And I guarantee it to make you happy as well. So it is very treacherous, very risky to buy used gear. And it always happens that it's the deal that's too good to be true. You know, do not buy old used NAT audio. I'm telling you that right now. I am the NAT audio importer. Do not buy the old shit, okay? Unless you buy it from a dealer, someone like me that gives you a warranty. The old NAT amps had a different designer. They were overbuilt and they had many weird things built into them that were in this ambition to be more than what they needed to be. They overbuilt their designs, very complicated. They're hard to fix and they were not reliable. They just had too many things to go wrong. The NAT audio nowadays is much simpler. Way easier, simple circuits, single-ended circuits. None of this logic chips and all this crap that were in the old ones. And when they fired this guy, this engineer, he left and he took all his drawings. So there is no schematics for the old NAT audio gear. You can't get transformers for them. There's parts that are obsolete. Do not buy old NAT audio gear. I suggest you only buy it either brand new with a warranty or you buy it from somebody reputable and you buy it only a couple years old. But do not buy the old stuff. The old from Tom Vu, when he was importing that stuff, that is a different designer, different designs. Those were unreliable back at that time. They need to be fixed many times. You can fix them sometimes, but just understand when you buy them used, if you're buying the old ones, be prepared for potential problems. Be prepared and ready to fix them. If you're ready to fix stuff and you don't care, then buy used and fix it if you have a good technician or if you are a good technician. But I wanted to let you know about this because many people get hurt buying used gear, and it's like after the money's spent to repair it and ship it and do all that crap, you could have just bought new and it would have had a 3-year freaking warranty on it and it would have been protected from any little weirdness that happens. If it shows up with a hum or something like that, it gets fixed and you pay nothing. Now it's going to cost the guy a bunch of money. So I wanted to just make you aware of the pitfalls of buying used and what it means. Amplifiers, although they don't have moving parts, get very hot. So amplifiers have potential heat issues. Okay, anything else like a CD transport is going to have possible mechanical issues because it has moving parts. A preamp, you're usually probably pretty good with the preamp because it's not a hot piece of gear typically, and it doesn't have moving parts except for maybe the potentiometer. DACs, pretty solid. They don't have moving parts. They're and they don't get hot as well. So DACs are a little safer. But amplifiers, shit, you got to look out for the amplifiers and you got to look out for speakers because speakers wear out. Okay, the surrounds get worn out. They move a lot. Speakers can get tweaked too. So beware on used speakers. Beware on used amplifiers. And if you're going to buy those two, buy them from a dealer is what I suggest. Somebody with a warranty with some sort of guarantee of the product that you're buying. So anyways, thanks for joining. See ya.